Islamic State militants have seized the final border crossing between Syria and Iraq, and that's according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, which says militants are now in control of more than half of Syria's territory. And recent gains include the ancient city of Palmyra, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But it all comes after declassified documents were published showing that as early as 2012, U.S. intelligence predicted the rise of Islamic State. The report shows the powers who supported the Syrian opposition, like America, envisioned the creation of an independent principality in eastern Syria and supported it. They also clearly predicted the establishment of Islamic State through its union with other terror organizations in Syria and Iraq. And during the Syrian uprising, Washington largely supported the opposition. One of its leaders, Abdul Jabbar al-Qaeda, is a commander of the Free Syrian Army. He has links to Islamic State and has praised the militants in the recent past.
هي علاقتك مع دولة الإسلام في العراق والشام؟
جيدة. أنا علاقتي مع الأخوة في دولة العراق والشام بالتأكيد تواصل شبه يومي أنا والأخوة في دولة العراق والشام لحل هذه الخلافات وحل هذه المشاكل.
Let's show you the former U.S. ambassador to Syria, Robert Ford, there posing with Al-Qaeda as recently as May 2013. But not just him. What about the U.S. Senator John McCain has also come under fire. This was last year, the picture of him there with alleged Islamic State jihadists in Syria. It was apparently taken during a visit to the country when he was meeting the opposition leaders. Well, these days, the U.S. government is playing a different tune when it comes to Islamic State.
If left unchecked, these terrorists could pose a growing threat beyond that region, including to the United States.
ISIL simply poses a threat to the people of Iraq and Syria and the broader Middle East. And if left unchecked, these terrorists certainly would pose a growing threat beyond the region because they have already promised to.
Earlier, we talked to Max Abrams, who is a political science professor at Northeastern University. He said the U.S. and its allies were fully aware of Islamic State since its creation.
The reason why this report is important is because it comes from the DIA, which is part of the Defense Department. What it shows is that terrorist elements spearheaded by Al-Qaeda in Iraq had designs on moving into Syria from the very beginning, and that the U.S. and Turkey and the Gulf countries were aware of this. The evidence is suggesting more and more that these so-called moderate elements were actually not that moderate, that they had terrorist backing from the very beginning,